Good evening to you. It is the 15th of August. The day is Tuesday. Thank you so much for making time for this bulletin tonight. This is The Bottom Line. My name is Brian Amwai. Now tonight we do have so much lined up for you. All that is happening on the corridors of politics, from the rhetorics of the opposition leader Raila Odinga in regards to the talks that are expected to be kicking off anytime from now, to Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua in regards to the same, and also the President on what he has to say about the cost of living and his plans for the country moving forward. This and much more on the program tonight. Engage us on our socials at Amoy Brian on Twitter, at Lookuptv. The hashtag we are using tonight is The Bottom Line KE. We are also live on Facebook and on YouTube. So be sure to send your feedback on those particular social platforms, and I'll be able to sample some of it as we continue with the program tonight. Do tell us where you are watching us from and what you think about the stories that we are running today. But first, these are the top stories tonight.
Kubaliana tuko na wao.
Tonight on The Bottom Line, Azimio leader Raila Odinga slams government for taking the national dialogue talks lightly, as Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua insists there's no room for handshake. Also tonight, preparations for the devolution conference complete in Eldoret to mark 10 years of devolution. And National Assembly receives a petition seeking to ban TikTok social media app in Kenya. All right, now sign language interpreter tonight is Josephine Ouko. Let's begin the broadcast tonight. Azimio leader Raila Odinga has castigated the government for taking the bipartisan talks lightly. Now speaking in Makueni County at the burial of a fallen protester, Raila remained adamant that the talks should be held and a solution found, failure to which Azimio will revert to protests. Stanley Lugaria now reports.
The natives of Makueni welcoming the opposition. Political rivalry jibes took center stage over the ongoing bipartisan talks between the two opposing sides, Azimio One Kenya and Kenya Kwanza coalitions. Raila warning the government proponents of constant chest thumping, calling them to be responsible.
Hiyo kila mahali ambayo wakienda wanapiga risasi na kuua watu. Juzi tumezika huko pande wa Siaya watu 5. Kule Vihiga watu 3. Kwa jumla wamepiga watu ambao wameua 72 ambao wameua na risasi ya polisi.
The opposition holds that the government should protect all citizens, refuting remarks by the Inspector General of Police, Japhet Kome, that the opposition assembled bodies that had died earlier and not from the demonstrations.
Anasema sisi tumeenda kutafuta maiti ya kuonyesha kwa picha. Sio ni mtu mjinga. Sio ni mjinga. Yale ambaye jamaa wamefanya ni unyama. Wanaua watu ambao hawana hatia. Manake maandamano iko kwa sheria yetu.
Raila has emphasized and supported the proposals as suggested by the Azimio side, calling on the government to stop engaging in opposition wing issues, the opening of the IEBC servers, reducing the cost of living, warning the lawmakers from the opposition side who are dining with the government, as he called them, traitors who should seek re-election on different tickets.
Tumesema gharama ya maisha irudi chini. Pili, ile server pale matokeo iliingia ifunguliwe. Mnakubaliana haya? Alipowachana na vyama vyetu.
Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka criticized the government and promised that if the negotiations do not bear fruit, then they have no need but to revert to protests, following remarks by the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua on Tuesday as he called on Kimani Ichung'wah to speed up the bipartisan talks so as to serve the citizens.
We hope they have started listening, because I saw some newspaper headline kusema they are considering fuel subsidy. It is coming too late in the day, because that's what we've been telling them. Kumaanisha vile Gachagua amekuwa akisema Kenya ni kampuni, wenye share ndio wanapata kazi. Haya ndio mambo ambayo tutayazungumzia.
On Tuesday, the National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah and Minority Counterpart Opiyo Wandayi tabled a motion to support the establishment of a National Dialogue Committee
in seeking to promote the peace stability and prosperity of the country, and acknowledging that the majority party in parliament and the minority party in parliament have agreed to embrace dialogue through the establishment of a national dialogue committee to recommend a way forward on issues of concern to the people of Kenya.
With the National Dialogue Committee set to submit a report to the House within 60 days. Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv.
Thank you so much, Stanley Lugaria, for that particular report. Moving on, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua now says that the most important conversation that should be happening in the country is about making sure farmers have fertilizers to boost their production. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua now seems to belittle the dialogue between Azimio and Kenya Kwanza, insisting that the most important conversation should be about boosting production.
Aaron Cheriot nilikuwa nimempigia simu jana mara 4, hakushika simu yangu. Baadaye nikamuuliza, akasema alikuwa kwa mazungumzo. Nikamwambia hii mazungumzo mnaliga naye zitaisha, mtarudi tu hapa. Mkute sisi pahali mlituacha kwa maendeleo. Sasa wewe Karinda na Cheriot murigie sisi mko kwa mazungumzo, hiyo mazungumzo itafika mwisho. Kwa sababu ile mazungumzo ya maana ni hii. Mambo ya bolea, mambo ya barabara, mambo ya maji, mambo ya masomo. Hiyo ndio mazungumzo ya maana.
Gachagua insists that the promises made during campaigns on how to better the lives of Kenyans is the most pressing conversation that should be given attention.
Nyinyi muendelee kuzungumza huko. Sisi mazungumzo yetu ni mambo ya chakula, mambo ya bolea, mambo ya barabara, mambo ya maji. Hiyo ndio mazungumzo rais wetu na mimi na hii team kina Musalia tuko naye. Lakini nyinyi muendelee kwa hiyo mazungumzo, mkimaliza murudi tuendelee na maendeleo.
This as he called on Azimio to tell their supporters to register as farmers in order to benefit from government subsidized fertilizer.
Kwa sababu kiongozi mmoja wa Azimio kutoka pande ya Nyanza nimeona akilalamika pale bunge ati ya kwamba iko ubaguzi kupeana bolea. Ati watu ya Rift Valley, watu ya Mount Kenya walipewa bolea, hawa hawakupewa. Na ni vile tu ajui, hii bolea ndio upewe, lazima ukuwe registered as a farmer. Si ndio? Sasa siku ya registration walikuwa kwa maandamano. Tutafungua tena kuandikisha wakulima round 2. So hiyo watu wa Azimio waambie wakulima ya huko waende wajiandikishe kama wakulima, wachukue bolea ya 2500, tukutane kwa shamba. Hiyo ndio njia ya kujenga Kenya yetu.
President Ruto called on the country to give him time to deliver on his promises as he stressed on the positive results recorded after subsidized fertilizer distribution.
Vile umepambana na hii mambo ya mbolea kuishukisha kutoka 7,000 mpaka 3,500, sasa umeanzisha 2,500. Ile jambo tu kidogo ambaye imebaki apart from bei ni pia ile distance ambaye wakulima inabidi waende kuchukua ile mbolea.
Ula zaidi. Nyinyi wenyewe ni mashahidi ya kwamba ile mbolea tulileta mwaka huu ilisaidia wakulima wengi, na mahindi yetu na mazao yetu ni bora kuliko ile tulikuwa tunatumia ya DAP. Ni kweli ama si kweli?
Now, preparations for this year's devolution conference to be held to mark 10 years of devolved governance are complete. President William Ruto is expected to officially open the celebrations on Wednesday, which will be held in Eldoret Stadium in Uasin Gishu County. Now, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and former United Kingdom Prime Minister Tony Blair are some of the keynote speakers who will address the conference. Our reporter Henry Tende looks at the last touches on preparations ahead of the official opening and files the following report.
An aura of music and performances as part of entertainment segment ahead of Wednesday's devolution conference. The tunes are clear indication that its systems go in terms of preparations for the devolution conference to mark 10 years of the journey under the new constitution. As it has now become the norm, governors and senators staged a football showdown on the eve of the conference on Tuesday. a game that saw Senators emerge victorious with a 3-0 goal margin.
It's been a nice day from the morning, but the special highlight for today was, of course, the match. We always look forward to the match between the Senate and COG. The purpose of it is actually team building and creating that mood and environment for devolution, working together in this space of devolution. So it's really not a very serious competition, though it is a competition. We didn't do as well as we wanted, but we are going to be practicing now for the next one.
This was a very good game. At least the main objective was achieved, because what we want is to bond with senators. And I know now going forward, especially for the conference, we have actually broken the ice, and that was the objective of the game. We have managed to bring everybody together, the governors and the senators. So what I can say is, in as much as we lost, but we lost honorably and achieved the objective of bonding.
I mean, performing arts, film, theater, they have not received the attention they deserve in the counties. When you look at the budget for sports, counties are not giving sports the right allocation.
President William Ruto is expected to officially open the devolution conference on Wednesday. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair will also grace the event. On Thursday, former Prime Minister, who is also the leader of the opposition coalition Azimio Raila Odinga, will issue a keynote address, while Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua will address the conference on Friday before officially closing the event. Eldoret Stadium in Uasin Gishu will be the venue for this year's celebration, and this tent is ready to receive visitors, with a big number of governors and senators already in town for the function. This year's theme is 10 years of devolution, present and future, which aims to encourage development of the country from grassroots level all the way to the national stage. Henry Tende, Lookuptv.
All right, thank you, Henry Tende, for that. Now, the Departmental Committee on Communication, Information and Innovation today held a meeting with the Data Protection Commissioner regarding the security of the data of Kenyans who participated in the recent iris scanning by WorldCoin.
This year, long queues of Kenyans were witnessed at the KICC building for the WorldCoin registration, an exercise that faced criticism from different quarters as participants and their iris scanned for some money. The fate of the legality of WorldCoin registration is under heavy scrutiny, as the Data Collection Commission on Tuesday morning appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on matters regarding the operation.
The Office of the Data Commissioner, pursuant to the power under Section 9(1) and 59 of the Data Protection Act, has commenced a multi-agency investigation to ascertain the true position of the processing activities of WorldCoin.
According to Data Collection Commission, they have commenced a multi-agency investigation to ascertain the true position of the processing activities of WorldCoin. They are then responsible for registration of data controller agencies and not to give authorization of the operation.
Of the Data Protection Commissioner is yet to establish the numbers of the Kenyans who have signed up with WorldCoin. The Act provides explicitly that state that the data controllers and data processors do not have to be resident in Kenya to make an application for registration.
Parliamentary Committee has raised concerns on the legality of WorldCoin operations, saying the operation could be putting Kenyan lives at risk.
According to you, you are here to clarify that it's not your job to know whether the company is registered for their core business. It's not your job. You don't care two bloody hoots about it. As long as somebody fills this form that nobody sees, nobody assesses, nobody looks at, it is done electronically, as you've just told us. In Parliament you said the same thing. Once this form is filled, what then? What is your job as the data processing what do you call yourselves? Data Protection Commissioner. What is your job?
TikTok.
Is your job to then find out A is the sensitive data.
The women representative of Homa Bay County, Joyce Atieno Bensuda, has asked the commission to submit a complete report on the agreement between them and WorldCoin, and also called upon the commission to do a proper public awareness.
This issue of WorldCoin is not a surprise. It is something which was well planned. This dates clearly outlines that there is need for scrutiny of the reports that you've given and highlights of questions for responses sent to the commission and the team, and then the multi-agencies who are implicated in this. So we need a actually, this should not be that could it be. It must be an inquiry.
Maven Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Now, thank you, Mevin Getembe, for that particular report. Moving on, a petitioner has called on members of parliament to ban the use of the popular social media application TikTok, saying it is a contributor to the erosion of cultural and religious morals in the society. Now, the executive officer of Bridget Connect Consultancy, Bob Ndolo, in a petition to the National Assembly on Tuesday, called on MPs to move with speed and ban the use of TikTok in the country, as it is exposing young people to explicit sexual content.
That my office has received a petition from one Mr. Bob Ndolo, the executive officer of the Bridget Connect Consultancy, regarding the banning of TikTok in Kenya.
In a complete plea to the National Assembly on Tuesday, Bob Ndolo, the executive officer of Bridget Connect Consultancy, highlighted the urgent need to curb the use of TikTok in Kenya. Ndolo asserts that the app is exposing young individuals to explicit sexual content, which he believes is contributing to the degradation of societal norms. Among the reasons outlined in the petitioner's case, he points out that TikTok's content has become a platform for promoting explicit material, inciting violence, spreading hate speech, and using offensive language. This, he argues, poses a serious threat to the cultural and religious values of Kenya.
Honourable members, having established that the matter raised in the petition is well within the authority of this House, and further that the matters raised in the petition are not pending before any court of law, constitutional or legal body, I hereby commit the petition to the Public Petitions Committee for consideration pursuant to Standing Order 208A. The committee is required to consider the petition and report its findings to the House and to the petitioner in accordance with Standing Order 2272.
Furthermore, Ndolo expresses deep concern about the app's potential harm to the development of Kenyan children. He argues that the unregulated nature of TikTok, which allegedly falls outside the oversight of the Communications Authority of Kenya, could be detrimental to the nation's youth.
The petition avers that in Kenya, the internet application is not regulated by the Communications Authority of Kenya, leading to the failure to remove or block content deemed to be inappropriate or offensive. Honourable members, the petition further avers that TikTok has been implicated in several privacy scandals over the past years. For instance, in 2019, the app was fined $5.7 million by the United States of America Federal Trade Commission for illegally collecting personal information from children under the age of 13.
The call to ban TikTok is undeniably generating intense discussions among legislators, policymakers and citizens as the nation grapples with the delicate balance between technology, culture values and societal well-being.
Therefore, Honourable Speaker, as much as I feel what Mr. Ndolo says, there could be an element of abuse of all these apps. But Honourable Speaker, we cannot, as a House, preside over the banning, outright banning, of any app. We cannot fight with technology. Honourable Speaker, what probably Ndolo should have done is to petition the House, and maybe that's what the relevant committee should do, is to look at ways how you regulate the use of these apps, how you restrict the age groups that will be able to use these apps, how the Communications Authority of Kenya and ICT authorities will be able to regulate the content that is being uploaded for viewership, to be able to view.
I am of the view, very, very strong view, that in this digital age, we cannot as a country afford to live in isolation. We cannot operate from some island. This age knows no boundaries, it knows no borders, and therefore it will be foolhardy even to contemplate banning not only TikTok, but any other app for that matter.
Meanwhile, this petition coincides with the recent revelations from the Information and Communication Technology Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo. Just last month, Owalo disclosed plans to regulate the platform, particularly during late hours, following reports of alleged illegalities occurring during the night. Brian Amwai, Lookuptv. All right, yes, my name is Brian Amwai. We do want to take a short break here on the Bottom Line KE. Don't go too far. We'll be back with more stories that have been happening across the country. Continue engaging us on our socials. At Amwai Brian on Twitter, at Lookuptv. The hashtag we are using tonight is the Bottom Line KE. We are also live on Facebook and on YouTube. So be sure to send your feedback on those particular social platforms. And I do see Kennedy Asirigo says, watching from Likuyani. That is on Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Kevin Olo Adipo says Kisumu City, Manyata, locked. I'm tuned in. Thank you so much for making time for the program tonight and trusting us to bring you up to date with the news making headlines across the country. We do want to take a short break. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, and welcome to Tujenge Home. Your #1 show when it comes to all things architecture, real estate, property development, interior design. You get it right here on Tujenge Home. When the food is ready.
You want to serve them?
Dinner is served. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Beautiful, wonderful, glorious. We are having the show that we share entitled Shepherd Voice.
I'm waiting for you to get me to Kenya. That's what I'm waiting
for you.
God is the source of every blessings that flow into your life.
And I know that God is going to bless you and to do a new thing.
Pray.
All right, we are back on air. Thank you so much for staying with us here on the Bottom Line KE. Let's continue the program tonight. Now, 8 people on Wednesday survived a terror attack when assailants believed to be of terror group Al-Shabaab launched attacks on 2 separate vehicles ferrying passengers in Lamu County. Now, 6 people were lucky to survive the attack on Gasen-Mokowe Road, while 2 escaped unhurt when their lorry en route to Bagoni came under Al-Shabaab attack. Security officers who were immediately deployed in the area managed to foil the attacks, with residents calling for enhanced security.
Wakaenuka kwa wingi kama zaidi ya watu 50, wakakuja barabarani na wakaanza kunirusha risasi. Wakarusha huku wakishauti wakisema simama. Sasa kwa sababu ya kuokoa abiria wangu, walivyokuwa wanapiga zile risasi zao, mimi wakirusha napiga gari zigzag, nikabidi nihepeshe gari mkono wangu wa kulia au wakiwa mkono wa kushoto. So nikaingiza gari msituni, lakini kwa bahati mbaya wakalenga tairi ya mbele ya upande wa Taniboy, na gari ikaanza ikaroli, ikainuka kabisa, ikalala, miguu ikawa juu. Hapo ndo nikapiga kioo, nikavunja kioo, nikawa wa kwanza kutoka, nikavuta maabiria wangu, ikiwa maadui bado wanasonga, tena bado wanarusha risasi. Hapo nika manage kutoa watu 3, 2 wakawa wamebaki pale ndani, mwanamke mmoja na jamaa mmoja. So tukakimbia msituni, wakafika pale, wakakutana na yule madam, lakini bahati nzuri madam akawa yuko pale, hajiwezi, anatetemeka, lakini anasoma shahada ile yake ya mwisho, maana kifo kilikuwa kimemfikia. So walivyoona vile, wakasimama pale, wakaomba msamaha kwa yule madam, wakamwambia pole, chukua vitu zako kimbie. Kumbe ni Waislamu wenzetu, wakamsaidia kutoroka, akakimbia na yeye kutufuata sisi msituni. Ndio tukakimbia mpaka tukatokelezea kijiji huko kwa chief, tukapata kukaa hapo, ndio tukasikia usaidizi, wanajeshi wanakuja hapo
Now moving on, 4 men were killed in cold blood by unknown goons in Gashugi village, Kiambu County on Monday night. Now the 4 were said to have been heading home when they were attacked. Faith Bonareri now reports.
According to the residents, the deceased succumbed from grave head injuries afflicted by the attackers, who only aimed at their heads. Leah Wangari, a mother of 4 whose husband was murdered, recalled how her son received a call informing him that his father had been knocked by a vehicle and was lying by the roadside, bleeding profusely.
Sasa wenye waliuawa pande ya Gatundu North ni bwanangu, na mimi nakaanga Ngoigwa, Batia nakaanga Kairi. So ni simu nilipigiwa kutoka huku Gishagi, nikakonfirmiwa ya kwamba bwanangu ni mmoja hao wameuawa, na nikakuja nikatafuta gari, nikapanda na watoto wangu na mandugu zangu, tukakuja kuconfirm kama ni bwanangu na tukapata ni yeye. So vile tulipata ni yeye, hatungekuwa na otherwise, lakini sasa tunasikia kwa roho yetu tumeumia juu tumeachwa, kama ni watoto wangu wameachwa na baba yao na mimi nimeachwa na bwanangu. Tulipatana naye tu last Wednesday. Ndio tulikuwa naye na tukaongea, na hatukuwa na ubaya, tukaongea tu na tukaachana juu tulikuwa kwa gari. Yeye akashukia Katukuyu na mimi nikashukia Ngoingo.
The residents now call on area security apparatus to beef up security in their areas and pleaded with local leaders led by area MP Elijah Njoroge to install security lights for safety.
Ombi letu kama wakaaji wa kijiji hiki na maeneo haya yote ni ya kwamba tunahitaji backup ya usalama, kwa sababu usalama ni kama sio ya kwamba umelegea, lakini tunahitaji uongezewe zaidi. Wale ambao wanalinda usalama, bwana chief na wale assistant chief na askari wetu, kama kunaweza kuwa na askari na watu ambao watakuwa na civilian wakifanya patrol wakati wa usiku, masaa ya jioni, watatusaidia ili ya kwamba jambo kama hili ama tukio kama hili linapotendeka, response inaweza kuwa haraka kama vile bwana chifu alifanya jana. Na tunaomba ya kwamba hata wale ambao ni wahusika, kama hawatabadilika, Mungu tu mkono wake uko juu yao, na tunaombea wabadilike.
Tukumbuke Gatundu North ndio kuna police officers ambao hawatoshi kwa stations. Tuko na stations ambazo hazijafikisha hata 12 police officers across Gatundu North. Hapa ndio Gatundu North ambapo hata police headquarters yetu ya Kamwangi inahitaji usaidizi, inahitaji shamba, inahitaji ofisi za DCI, hawana ofisi, na tunahitaji mpaka magari kwa sababu area zetu ni kubwa sana, ndio polisi wetu waweze kufikia wananchi.
Faith Bonareri, Lookuptv.
Now, traders and residents of Lodo Town are counting losses mounting to millions after a fire outbreak which consumed several shops and houses. Now, the fire, which is said to have been caused by a faulty power line, left a number of residents in the cold. The locals now blame firefighters for arriving late when the damage was irreversible.
Hawa watu walikuanzia saa 10 moto ikianza. Wamekuja hapa saa 11 ikienda karibu saa 12. Kabisa. Hakuna kitu ambao wanakuja tena hawana maji. Wamekuja hawana maji, wanakuja maji kidogo, hata tena wanaokopa wanasimamia mbali. Hawasimamii karibu.
Hii fire mara ya kwanza ilikuwa inasimama pale
pale uwanja wa ndege, ni karibu na town. Lakini sasa fire imetolewa hapa, fire inapelekwa kilomita sijui ngapi karibu na kurudi Kitale huko. Kwa hivyo tukiomba wale wahusika, hii fire kama inawezekana irudishwe station yake katikati ya town. Na hiyo manake hii town ya Lodwar ni roho ya Turkana County. Manake unakuta Kalokol wanategemea hapa. Na unakuta watu wa Lokchogio, yani watu wa Nadapal wanategemea hapa. Sasa kama hii fire itawekwa huko mbali, mahali hata kwamba kabla ifike hapa nusu ya mafuta ya hiyo fire imeisha.
Kenya tunaomba hapa fire things tuko nazo, lakini na vijana wazee wamewekwa hapo wawezi zima moto. Watu wengi vijana kuja kuzima moto hapa kaunti Turkana kikuwepo itasaidia sana, lakini unapata ambao gari za moto zinakuja na watu na ni wazee, ni vijana wa kaunti boda ndio wameokoa moto hapa, lakini wenye fighting hakuna hiyo kitu wanafanya. Kuna hiyo kitu wanafanya.
Now, as the country marks 10 years of devolution, residents of Kirinyaga County are a happy lot as they have immensely benefited from the transfer of powers and funding from the national government to the counties by empowering the county residents in decision-making on critical matters manifested through public participation. Now, the launch of the state-of-the-art Kerugoya Level 5 Hospital Medical Complex offering comprehensive medical services for residents is one of the biggest revolutions in the county's health sector. This and more in our county newswap.
For 10 years now, the devolution government has been a great pillar in citizen participation and ease in provision of improved government services. One of the major milestones being an improvement in access to quality health services, as has been seen in Kirinyaga County.
The success of devolution is rooted in synergy, collaboration and cooperation between both levels of government, development partners, civil society and faith-based organizations.
Leo tumetembea huku Kirinyaga na tumetembelea hospitali kuu ya level 5 hapa Kutus Kerugoya, and kenye tumeona mambo mengi sana ya mahana.
In other news, Olulua Estate residents in Kajiado North Sub-County decry over high insecurity in the area due to burglary and livestock thefts. The residents are pleading with the government to tighten security in the area by deploying more police officers to ensure safety of their livestock and farm produce.
Tumepigwa kila kona, manake hata ukulima tumekuwa tukimbiwa maidibichi, na haswa saa tena zile ambazo zimebakiwa kwa mashamba kuamkia tena leo tumekuwa na hali ya kuibwa.
Usalama haijakuwa vile ati ni mzuri, sababu hata ukitoka kwa gate mpaka ufunge hata mchana unapata tu anaibiwa.
Meanwhile, 2 orphans from Gitanga, Machakos County are appealing to well-wishers to assist them financially in facilitating their studies. The siblings, Diana Nduku, who has been admitted to Kiambu Institute of Science and Technology, and her Form 2 brother, while speaking to the media, shed tears as they explain how the financial constraints have hindered them from furthering their studies.
First nilikuwa university, niende nikafanye diploma in nursing, but nikaona ikuenda through, so nikarudi nika-apply tena KUSSIPS. Ndio sasa for the first revision wakanipea, but wakaniambia si meet the minimum requirements, ndio nika-apply the second revision.
Wakiwa primary, ni mimi niliwasomesha kutoka primary mpaka form 4, na bado ninawasukuma tu, na mashida ninayopitia ni kwamba sina kazi.
Wairimu Wasike, Lookuptv.
Now, Joan Munyasia, like many retirees, feel the pressure of being idle at home after years of successful teaching and political career. Now, during the COVID-19 pandemic, however, she took the time to research on health and nutrition matters and now runs a home factory where he produces pumpkin seed oil. Let's take a look at that. It is John Munyasia and not Joan. Sorry for that.
After his retirement from teaching and politics, John Munyasia turned into production of pumpkin seed oil guava tea leaves, and avocado oil. Munyasio says that he actualized his dream at the height of the COVID-19 outbreak.
I was a teacher, a high school teacher for a year, Marsabit, Machakos, and then Friends School, Kamsinga, St. Peter's, Mumias, until I joined the Union of Teachers, KNUT. Then from there, I went to Parliament in 1992, representing Sirisia constituency on the Ford Kenya ticket. I have been a CEC, CECM in the first Lusaka administration here in Bungoma, first in charge of lands, urban and fiscal planning, and then later housing and sanitation. We started collecting some pumpkin seeds, and then we took them to the agro-processing unit in Mabanga Agricultural Training Center.
In line with the former government's Big Four agenda, he decided to focus on health and more specifically ways of improving nutrition as a whole.
At that time, our government was talking of, was it 4 pillars of development? And they were talking of, affordable housing. They were talking of manufacturing. They were talking of health. And I happened to, to pick on health and manufacturing.
He further noted that much as many people use guavas as fruits, he sees numerous benefits like making tea, adding that it improves fertility in men, and that avocado oil can help with diseases such as arthritis.
Guava leaf tea removes many pains. It improves fertility, for instance, among the young couples who are worried about whether they are going to have a child or not. Maybe they are taking a little long. And then, people complain of arthritis. I understand arthritis comes with the loss of, ointment between the joints, etc. So this will help reduce the risk. So I also said, then we can also produce avocado oil.
Hadassah Christel, Lookuptv.
All right, let's get sporty tonight. Kenya rugby national ladies team Lioness player Bernadette Olesia has sadly passed away while undergoing treatment in hospital. Now, the northern suburbs player was a key player of the Kenya's Lioness team that finished in the second place in the Ladies African Rugby Championship held in Madagascar, May this year. Right, moving on, telecommunication company Safaricom has officially launched the Western Region Chapadimba Now Safaricom Soccer Tournament. Now 2 teams in both male and female categories from each county will participate in the finals that will be held on the 26th to 27th of this month at Buhungu Stadium, Kakamega County. Now the tournament intends to give a platform for coaches and soccer agents to spot talents from the grassroots.
Tumefurahia sana na tunataka mafanzi wakuja kwa wingi. Venye juzi tumekuwa tena na michezo ya secondary school, mafanzi wamekuwa wengi. Tena tuna expect mafanzi tunawaambia wakuja kwa wingi. Tumefurahia sana na vijana wetu wameanza wako na talanta iko Kakamega. Kakamega ndio kuna talanta, lakini kwa watu wa kusponsor talanta ndio hatukuwa nao. Vijana wetu wamekuwa wakiumia sana.
Tunashukuru Safaricom sana kwa kuleta hii initiative ya Chapadimba. Imesaidia vijana wengi. Sisi wale ambao tunaongoza mpira katika mashinani ndio tunajua shida ambazo vijana wetu wanapitia. Mimi kama kiongozi naweza toka niende mashinani kule nione kijana mzuri, lakini huyo kijana vile utamuexpose kwa watu ambao wanaitwa agents wa Kenya hii, ndiposa wakaweza kumchukua kumsaidia kunacha talent yake, inakuwa ni ngumu. Lakini tukiwa na mashirika kama Safaricom na hizi programs za Chapadimba zitatusaidia sana.
So siku ya leo tunafanya ile countdown, na countdown kutakuwa na vitu mingi tunafanya. Kitu ya kwanza tunafanya, kutakuwa na free medical camps on the 19th of this month hapa Kakamega, approved school. Kutakuwa pia na digital literacy ambayo tutafanya hiyo pande ya Bungoma. Youth engagement, kutakuwa na campus engagement ambayo tutafanya training hapa Muliro Gardens, na pia hiyo ile engagement ya community ile ambayo rigi yetu inazunguka, ile track yetu inaonyesha watu na inaonyesha watu vile mchezo inachezwa.
Away from that, Kenya National Rally Champion Karan Palel is set to participate in the African Rally Championship, expected to kick off from August 18th to 20th in Burundi. Now, the KCB-sponsored driver who just competed at the 2023 WRC Safari Rally has set his eyes on the big prize during the fourth leg of the series and will be navigated by his longtime friend, Tosif Han. All right, we normally don't do this here on the bottom line, especially end the show at 9:42. That is a little bit early, but yeah, there comes a time when we do these things. I'd just like to take a look at some of the things you're saying online as far as our stories are concerned. Joseph Peter says, no more mandamano. Okay, that is responding to a story we did about Raila Odinga and the Azimio coalition, talking about the talks that are expected to start between Kenya Kwanza and the Azimio coalition, right? Wacha Fitina, this is also in regards to the opposition. This is Sam telling the opposition in regards to the same, right? Thank you so much for making time for the program tonight and trusting us to bring you up to date with the news making headlines across the country. On behalf of everybody, and I mean everybody that made this one a success tonight, I do want to thank you so much for watching the bulletin tonight. Let's do this again next time. My name is Brian Amwai. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Josephine Ouko. And do have yourselves a lovely night and a lovely week. I'll see you over the weekend or any day from now. I don't know, man. Good night.